Josh there. Take questions in the chat, beginning with Chris Solari.
Hey, Josh, I know that congratulations for being in the field. I'd imagine that being in the first four, though, probably wasn't the thing that you guys were hoping for. I guess, how do you use that now as motivation? And with the tired legs that you guys maybe had towards the end, how do you kind of regenerate now for the second season?
Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is, Chris, is that we got an opportunity. And so at the end of the day, that's all we can ask for. And so we have to take advantage of that opportunity, and we have to make the choice as a team. You know, it has to be a collective decision that, you know, we all going to give 110% because, you know, it's win or go home now. But the fact of the matter is we have an opportunity, and can't nobody take that from us. And so we just have to use that to the best of our ability.
As a follow to that, is there an advantage for you guys knowing that you're either going to be in Bloomington or at Purdue, having played at both venues relatively recently? I mean, do you carry any sort of advantage into this game with that?
I'm sure there possibly could be some advantage just because, like you said, you know, we're kind of familiar with that place. Familiarity does, you know, give you some type of comfort. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we're just going to come in and just try to do the best that we can and play, you know, to the best of our ability.
Our next question will go to Kyle Austin.
Josh, just wondering where your kind of personal excitement level is at. I mean, you haven't played in an NCAA tournament game in a couple of years. I would imagine that was part of you wanting to come back is just to play in this. Now that it's official, what is kind of the excitement level for you to play in this event?
Say that. Can you say that last part again?
I said, what is your kind of the excitement level for you personally to play in this event after not, you know, being able to do it for the last 2 years?
Oh, it's great, man. It's great. You know, like you said, I haven't been able to play, you know, in the last 2 years. And so, you know, to be able to come back and not play in 2 years and be able to have an opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament, you know, that's a second to none opportunity. So, you know, I'm just going to make the best of it.
Our next question will go to Brendan at the Impact.
Hey, Josh, I know the news is pretty fresh about you guys taking on UCLA in the first four in. Have you gotten to watch UCLA at all this year? They're coming off of 4 straight losses. How do you feel about that matchup for you guys in the first game?
Definitely haven't got to watch them as much, but, you know, with the way that we prepare and the way our coaching staff, you know, goes about getting us ready to play against teams, we'll definitely, you know, have a great you know, great background of information on them so that we may be able to go out and play, you know, to the best of our abilities and, you know, not be in the dark about, you know, who they are and their tendencies and the things that they're like. So, you know, haven't got to see them play, but, you know, our coaching staff, they do an unbelievable job of helping us get prepared. So.
Next question will go to Stephen Brooks.
Hey, Josh, could you just sort of paint a picture of what it was like watching the selection show where you guys all together? And I mean, when it goes into the last bracket and about midway through that for Michigan State to pop up, were you getting nervous at all? Were you worried? I mean, what just emotionally, what was it like? And like literally, what were you guys doing? What was sort of the setting?
Yeah, I mean, we were just sitting down and watching as a team, and, you know, emotionally, you know, of course, you know, even if, you know, you have a, you know, somewhat of an even better season than us, emotionally, you're still going to be up and down because, you know, it's just the emotion would come into watching the selection show, you know, when you're a team that's looking to get picked. You know, those emotions are definitely going to be high. But, you know, like we all said collectively, and like I just said, you know, to answer Chris, when I answered Chris' question earlier, you know, we're all thankful that we have the opportunity. And so, you know, at the end of the day, that's all we can ask for. And so everybody was just, okay, we have the chance. Now let's go make the best of the opportunity that we have, because everybody didn't get to hear their name called. So,
right. When Michigan State pops up on the screen, what was going on in that room?
Like, you know, like I just said, you know, everybody was grateful. Everybody was locked in. We have a chance to make a great run in this tournament and do some great things. So, you know, at the end of the day, like I said, all we can ask for is opportunity, and we got it. And, you know, that's everybody's mindset.
Thank you.
Yep.
And our last question for Josh comes from Paul at The Only Colors.
Hi, Josh. Congrats again on getting the team to the extending the streak of the NCAA tournament bid. I know that the schedule this week has been unusual. I think you guys are still somewhere in the state of Indiana. And of course, you're going to be staying there. So how does this change in schedule impacted the way you guys practice or prepare for this tournament? And what have you guys been doing over the last couple of days?
The schedule definitely has been, it's been different, from what we're used to. As of right now, we haven't got any, detailed information on what's, next for us. I'm sure within the next few minutes or next hours or so, we would get, full, full understanding of what we're going to be doing in terms of practice and preparation and all those different things. So, it's definitely different. But at the end of the day, I think one thing this team has done a pretty good job of is dealing with having to make adjustments, on the fly. With the schedule that we had, those few weeks that we had to, prepare as much as we did. So, at the end of the day, I know that our coaching staff is going to get us prepared. We just have to go execute.
All right, Josh, that's all we have for you tonight. Congrats. And
Thank you.
We'll talk to you later.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, we're going to have Aaron Henry here in a second. All right, at this time we're joined by Aaron Henry. We'll take questions for Aaron in the chat. Beginning with Brendan at the Impact.
Hey, Aaron, congratulations on the NCAA tournament bid. I know you guys probably would have liked to be in a better position than the first four in matchup. And obviously you're going to take it one game at a time, but are you at all excited about the prospect of taking down other Big Ten teams? You guys got Michigan and Maryland in your region. Are you guys at all excited about the ability to take down rivals and teams that you've already lost to this season in the tournament?
I was just excited to be in, just the circumstances that have caused a lot, COVID, the way we've been playing, the way the season ended, everything was unsure. And I'm just glad to be able to play Thursday and have the opportunity to still play basketball in March.
Next, we'll go to Chris Solari.
Aaron, kind of walk us through the room and what the emotion was seeing those three brackets without your name, and then seeing that you guys have a playing game against UCLA. I mean, I would imagine that, that's probably not someone that you expected to see in your first matchup.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm up for any challenge. It doesn't matter who it is. Like I said, I'm just glad to be in the position that I'm in. I get to play basketball in March. The streak continues with Coach Izzo. So today, I feel like it was a good day. We still get an opportunity to achieve some goals we've put out, and everybody's fired up and more excited than ever.
I asked this to Josh too. I mean, does playing at Purdue or Indiana, having been there, and knowing the lay of the land, I mean, that's something that's pretty unique coming to tournament time to have a conference venue. Does that help your team to play at a Big Ten school?
Yeah, that is unique. I'm sure everybody will feel a little more comfortable just being played there before. But, anything can happen in this tournament and these type of games. So you can't try to treat them like any other game. It's an NCAA tournament game, and we can play a lot of good teams, and, we have to be ready to compete.
Next, we'll go to Jane at the State News.
Hey, Aaron, I saw your tweet a couple minutes ago. You said chances make champions. Can you maybe elaborate on what you mean by that and how that mindset is carrying through for you?
Cash used to say that a lot when he was here, and it's true. We got a chance to play basketball. We have a chance to win championships and a championship, and we have to win it. We have to win the weekend. Well, we have to win the first game during the week first, but then win the weekend and, hopefully continue with that. So, I'm excited, and, chances make champions. That's really how I feel.
Next, we'll go to Stephen Brooks.
Hey, Aaron, curious what these last couple of days like for you guys have been like since you've been in Indy for a while. Um, just what have you guys been up to? How much have you been able to get done? I mean, how much are you in your room, or what sort of freedom do you have? And just with that, I mean, how excited are you to get forward back to sort of playing tournament mode here, coming up?
Guys have been, disciplined, not doing anything crazy as far as in the city or anything downtown. Guys have been, glued and understanding that we took a tough loss to Maryland, trying to recover from that, hoping that, we'd get a chance and that we did. And guys have been more than eager and prepared and ready to play. And Thursday, where I feel like we're going to demonstrate that, and we have to come together. And this is our last run at a memory making season. We got to have a good run, and with preparation and the amount of time that we do have, we've done it before. And I'm just excited for what we have to come.
Would you say you guys have got a lot of rest in these couple of days, a lot of basketball stuff, or both? Like what sort of stuff have you guys been able to get done?
Both, some basketball, some film watching stuff. A lot of time spent in my bed, though. It's good to get off your feet. It's good to get a comfortable sleep. I got a king size bed in my room, so I've never had that before. That was one thing I really enjoyed so far. And hopefully at the next hotel, it's close to the same size, because I was really enjoying that. Honestly, it's been some of the best sleep I've gotten this year, and I'm just glad to be playing Thursday.
Thanks, man. Good luck with the bed.
Thanks.
Our next question comes from Audrey Dahlgren.
Yeah, Aaron, you have your fair share of pillows, I'm sure. But what did Coach Izzo say to you guys after you found out, who you were going to play and kind of where everything played out how it did? What did he say to you, or what was his message?
We have an opportunity to play, and no matter where we're at, and we could have been a 16 seed, but that's okay. We have an opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament. That streak has been something that's been upheld for years before me, something that is almost standard here at Michigan State, and I'm glad to be a part of that, and I'm glad to be able to play Thursday.
And then just as a quick follow-up to that, how do you think that your guys' stretch, how you finish the season, will help you when it comes to the NCAA tournament, just because of the amount of games that you had to play in a short amount of time, and it's kind of going to be a similar situation?
We have to rev it up for sure. We definitely have to. I mean, from my perspective, those are conference games. We know our opponent. We've seen our opponent play so many times, on TV or against teams we played in our conference. But this is a new field, playing teams from different conferences in a short amount of days, and different preparation, different playing styles, teams we may have seen before and haven't seen before potentially, and we have to come prepared. And I think we have more than enough pieces to do that, from the staff all the way to the players.
And our last question for Aaron comes from Kyle Austin.
Aaron, I know you guys obviously have more to accomplish and you're going to be looking forward, but can you at least for a moment take a step back and appreciate kind of the last 3 weeks to get into the tournament and kind of that remarkable run that you guys went on now that you're officially in?
Yeah, absolutely. It was one to remember. Our backs against the wall. We built character. We've taken steps as people. And, we've seen what adversity looks like, and hopefully throughout this tournament with everybody, and the people that may count against us or don't plan on us winning. I hope that we continue to take steps as people and continue to take steps as basketball players to go out there and show what we can do and who we are.
All right. Does anyone have anything else for Aaron? All right. One final question from Stephen Brooks.
Yeah, sorry, Matt, I was gonna. Aaron, is it, you always hear it's kind of like a new season in the postseason. This season's been so weird. You guys have had so many ups and downs. I guess I'm just curious, what do you think this team's capable of in the tournament? You guys are in now. Everybody is kind of on the same footing, I guess, in one regard. What is Michigan State capable of, starting Thursday, I guess, in your opinion?
We've shown that we can play with anybody. I think that's the most important thing. But we haven't shown is the consistency through a longer stretch. We've put together 3 or 4 games or 2 or 3 and dropped some. But this is the time where we can't afford to drop any. And I think we played our best basketball with our backs against the wall. It's been like that for Spartans for a long time. And what better way to have it than how we do now? And I think this will be a good time to write our own story. And I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited for the challenge that we have ahead of us. And it's not the road's not easy that we have, and that's what makes it the best. You know, I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly.
Thank you.
All right, Aaron, congrats and I appreciate your time.
Thank
Talk
you,
to you
guys.
later. All right, and next up will be Coach Izzo here in a couple minutes. All right, appreciate everyone's patience. We'll be joined by Coach Izzo here in a second. Team's in the process of moving from one hotel to the next. There's Coach Izzo there. Coach, if you want to start us with an opening thought. Hold on, we'll wait for Max to unmute you there. Maybe push the laptop down a little bit there. There we are.
You guys got to get better cameras. Spend some of that money. My opening thought is I want to thank my players. I lied to everybody. I tried to take the heat off. I said the 23 game year stretch didn't matter. When I look back and I see Mike Krzyzewski not in, and at least, I know Kansas got more, but I still think we're the only school, us and Duke, that had the same coach, and I'm proud of it. And I want to thank them because they went through hell. I feel like, getting in is a big deal. It's going to be exciting. There were a few surprises, but at the same time, there have been a lot of surprises this year, and a lot of people have gone through hell. And I'm just happy and hopeful that we're one of 68 teams. And like I said to you 3 weeks ago, when we had that daunting schedule of 7 games in 15 days or whatever it was, all against those ranked teams, I said, it's an opportunity. We have another opportunity ahead of us. It'll be one game at a time, but at Michigan State, we play this for the weekends. That's the way we always have. I'm never changing that. I don't care what seed they put me. And so the object is to win the weekend. It went from 2 games to 3 games. I can't think of a team that's more prepared to play one-day preps back to back to back more than we are. And so I'm happy for the players. I'm happy for the former players who set the standards here. I'm happy for the Mateen Cleaveses of the era when it started. I'm happy for the Waltons and the Draymonts and the Valentines and the Winstons and all the guys that kind of set the standard over the years. And it was a chore to maintain it, but we got through it in a way that I think few could. And I mean that. And I'm proud of my team. I'm proud of my players. I'm happy for them.
First question comes from Chris Solari.
Hey, Tom, I know you mentioned the extended weekend, that it'll be 3 games. I guess, does much change in that in terms of it being an NCAA tournament with having to win 3 games? I mean, it's obviously new territory for you guys, but not necessarily with tournaments and some of the stuff you guys face down the stretch.
Well, what we faced down the stretch entirely, and and the other thing I told my team, looking at those brackets, it seemed like some teams got a tremendous benefit from not playing the games. We did what I thought, company line is. We came back and played those 3 games. As I look back, would I have been better off not playing them? Did I hurt my team some? Maybe. But you know what? We did what we were supposed to do. I look around the country, I see some teams that played a lot less games, and I think got some benefit. We're battle tested, man. We've been through it all. And I'm proud of them for that. I like the way we went. We we had our backs against the wall. We had a win. We played, all those games with 1 and 2 day prep anyway. So we're tested on that. We played some of the best teams in the country. I mean, Michigan twice, they're a 1 seed. Illinois, they're a 1 seed. Ohio State, they're a 2 seed. We played all those teams. So I think we're about as prepared as anybody. And yet, it's new territory, but might as well be new territory for me. Why should it be easy?
And you guys had 5 quad 1 wins. The 2 teams ahead of you that got the last buys had 3 combined between them. Is there a sense of frustration with that, or did you get any explanation of what weighed more in terms of the wins versus the net versus any of the other metrics?
Well, I'll just say this. I have no idea. Do I get any explanation? Are you crazy? You've been in this longer than that. Do you think anybody's given me an explanation? No, there's no explanation. That's about as secretive as it gets. The only problem I've had, and I said this for 2 months, the net is a joke. Okay. If the net hurt us, that's a joke. If the net didn't hurt us, I'm cool with it. But the net, because we didn't beat teams by as much, because we didn't run up scores, you know, that went out with football. Like I said, football people are a lot smarter in that respect. If the net really had an impact, which it sure seemed like it must have, I think that's embarrassing to our profession. There's not a way in the world I'd run the score up on my biggest enemy. And, you know, we dug ourselves our own hole in some ways. But was I surprised? Yeah, I was surprised. Am I disappointed? I'm not disappointed, because I've been through so much here over the years. You know, back in 16, disappointed that we weren't a 1 seed when everybody thought we deserved it. That's the way it was. You know, those are the facts. And the facts are that we played in the best conference in the country. I'm not going to be upset about a play-in game. I think our conference and league office should be, because I think it doesn't serve what this conference did this year as well. But at the same time, we play a storied team like UCLA. We get a chance to play a team that is very well coached. You know, he was at Cincinnati for years and did such a great job there. You know, he's brought a physical nature to the West Coast, which normally isn't the case. So I know they're going to be very well coached. I know they've been a good team. They've struggled a little bit in certain times, like everybody does. But I guess the other thing I was a little concerned with, and that's why I said that about playing those games, you know, we were one of 3 teams in our league that really had extensive COVID experience. And I'm not sure that that was looked at the same way, but when I came back and played those 3 games in 7 days after practicing 3 days, if I look back, I probably hurt my team. So the only one that should get blamed for that is me.
Our next question is from Stoney.
Yeah, Coach, are you happy with the way the Big Ten was represented? Nobody, it seemed, got screwed at all.
Really?
Do you think so?
If that's what you think, then that's what I'll say is good.
No, because
I
usually
think when you got the best league in the conference, I definitely think Michigan, Ohio State, Illinois, Iowa deserve to be 1 and 2 seeds. But then I think that the 4 teams at the end are 9, 10, 12, 14 seeds. You know, you got your opinion, I got mine. But I think if you're the best team in the conference and everybody's talking that every night out's a tough night, and then you throw it in because so many people had to deal with the COVID situation. And I'm just happy we made it through. I'm happy that they got through. But am I happy? I personally, I think there could have been 10 teams in our league because I think the league was that good. So, and compared to some leagues that got, then I definitely say that. But you know what? Doesn't matter, Stoney. The games begin on Thursday. That's what we're playing. And I'm fine with that.
in a weird way, is it almost better with your draw? Not necessarily the play-in where you don't, if you were an 8 seed, you would have to play probably the number 1 seed, the second game of the tournament. So does it work out better that way?
Sure. We've already played 2 1 seeds.
I know.
In fact, we already beat 2 1 seeds.
Yes, you did.
I mean, those extra days at this time of year, what you go through, the extra game is not going to be easy on anybody, you know? So I don't know, and nor do I care. But no, you know what? I'd rather be the best seed we could be. I'd rather be the seed we deserve. And if that's what we deserve as a plan, then the committee's got their reasons, and that's where we are, and that's what we're going to play. And we're going to see if we can do what I've done a lot in my career here, prove somebody wrong.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Kyle Austin.
So many recent years you've been, 2 seed, 3 seed, tournament favorites among them. How is the mindset kind of different this year, being an 11, and how do you kind of hope you guys go into it?
Dog eat dog, man. This is what this year is about. It's been that way for the whole year. Once we went through the early January little bit of a slump, and then the COVID. I think it's been that way the whole time. We've been fighting an uphill battle, and I give a lot of credit to my players, my staff, my medical people for keeping everybody sane. And as a lot of people are, more than a couple teams had to do, I've talked to a lot of those teams like Villanova and Penn State and our league and different people that went through it. But it really doesn't matter. I've been a 7 seed and gone. I've been a 1 seed and got beat by a 15, or 2 seed and got beat by a 15. I mean, it's I watched UConn beat us and go on to win the national championship. I think of all the years, it really doesn't matter what seed you are, and that didn't bother me. The play-in thing, I guess, concerns you because what we went through the last 2 weeks of the regular season. But you know what? Fresh start. We're going to be ready to go, and we're going to play, and we're looking forward to it. We still think it's a privilege and an honor to be in the tournament. Not always can you be a 2 or 3 or 4 seed. What the hell? New experience for me. I should experience all those things while I'm at Michigan State. And who knows how many years I got left, so I might as well experience a playing game, and that way I can say I've done it all.
3 more questions in the chat, starting with Brendan at Impact Radio.
Hey, Coach, I want to go back to something you said as an answer to another question. You said you want the seed you deserve, and if the playing game is what you deserve, then that's what it is. But what seed do you think you guys deserved after the way you performed the last 2 weeks?
Well, it just depends. There's always upsets, which is another strange rule that teams that win conference tournaments, even if it's a shock of the world, can't be in a play-in game. So I'd say there's a couple teams there. There were a couple other teams that didn't have as many, not even close to as many quad 1 wins in that. Some from smaller conferences. I was a little surprised, but I'm not. You know what? It's over, guys. So what seed do we deserve? And there was a time I was dying to be in the tournament. And you know what? I still am. And to think that we've been in this thing 23, really last year, 24 straight years is incredible. And by the time I get to my hotel, I'm going to think of it as an incredible opportunity. I've told my team the same thing I told you guys when we played that daunting schedule 2 weeks ago, filled with opportunities. We get a chance to play UCLA. As I said, phenomenally coached. And I mean that. And then more important, or as important, hell, I'll have Bill Walton talking about the game. It's a Thursday night game. It's the biggest game. It's the only game of 2 major conferences. And I think, we'll get exposure. I told Aaron Henry his parents could get to see 3 games instead of 2. There's going to be some positives. I don't know what you want out of me. I don't know what you think. You write what you think. Where do you think we belong?
Genuinely asking?
No, straightforward, not generally.
Oh, I think probably a 10.
Yeah. I think it could be 11. I was just surprised it was in the play-in game. But then again, I'm in. I got the same opportunity as the number 1 seeds. Same opportunity. And that's the way I'm going to look at it.
Thank you.
Next question, we'll go to Audrey Dahlgren.
Tom, obviously a couple of weeks ago or so, you were mentioning the streak. I don't want to put pressure on the streak, but as you're watching, the West region go by, and then the South region, and Midwest region go by and stuff, did you start to feel a little anxious or anything along those lines in a sense? Or, what was the mood like, and kind of just the emotion of just waiting to hear?
I really didn't. Now that I look at the whole thing and see where they put some teams, I probably should have been, but I really didn't. I just thought with some of the teams that had come in, that they had put in, I thought, I thought for sure we were in, but, and we're 11 seed, but no, I didn't sit there chewing my nails. They look the same, players, they've been through a lot. Hey, like I said, I've had a lot of teams here, Some at the end of the year I'm mad at, some at the end of the year I cried with, like Denzel's group. Some at the end of the year I celebrated with. But not many have I been prouder of than this team and what they've gone through and what all of you have gone through. You as media people, I'm proud of you. You know, this COVID part screwed up your thing. Well, it really was difficult on us. And the fact that our trainers, our people at Breslin, so many people did a great job, but none greater than what the players did. And so, you know, when you get picked and you're, you know, I mean, I don't think it would have mattered what seed you were, but when you play the Thursday game too, and I mean, it's a daunting task, you know. Ironically, you know, if we could win a couple games, we'd play against a good friend of mine, Shaka Smart. And I remember when he played in the play-in game and made it to a Final Four. And so maybe I'll call Shaka and talk to him about it. You know, I give a lot of people advice. Maybe somebody can give me advice. This is new territory for me. And I'm not right now, but by tomorrow morning, I'm going to be anxiously awaiting the opportunity.
And then as a quick follow-up, you guys have had a couple of days to just go through some practices at the YMCA and, you know, things along those lines. And so what's it like, you know, kind of not playing today, because you're usually always playing on a Sunday, but to have those days to go through some things, maybe a little extra prep work or something.
Isn't it great between you and Stoney and Chris and that we actually are so spoiled? We get to talk about, yeah, you're usually a 1, 2, or 3 seed. Yeah, you know, usually we're staying in the top hotels. I said, well, you know, maybe that's what happens when you're a 1, 2, or 3 seed, you know? And, you know, so it's kind of good to get back, you know, it's not quite Mariucci and I living in a trailer, but it's good, you know, I mean, it's good to bring back reality to things. And I'm fired up about that. You know, once in a while, it's good to have the chip on your shoulder and have to prove things. And, you know, I think we did pretty well going through that. You know, do we have enough left in our tank? We'll find out. You know, we're going to find out on Thursday night. But I promise you this, we had great practices yesterday and today. We did practice at a YMCA, so you did your homework. Proud of you. You know, even better, the guy at the YMCA started playing the YMCA song, and we were, well, God, everybody was dancing. I think I even danced a little bit. Good thing it's not on video. But we had a good practice. We had good workouts. Our guys are going to be ready to play. You know, I just feel good about that. And watching those games, you know, yesterday's Michigan-Ohio State game, watching today's game, watching Wisconsin, Illinois games, I mean, our Iowa games. I mean, it's been, you know, we can play with anybody. We have played with anybody. Somebody said, well, you probably don't want to face Gonzaga or you don't want to face Baylor. I said, why not? We faced Michigan and faced Illinois. And so, you know, unless LeBron comes in and they give him some eligibility back, I really don't care who we face.
Thanks, Tom. I'll find that video, by the way. So
you won't, because I didn't let anybody take any video.
Okay.
If I'm dancing, there'll be no video. Remember that.
Okay.
Final question tonight comes from Graham Couch.
Tom, you mentioned, you know, playing the weekend, so to speak, and obviously when there's an extra game, I'm wondering as a coaching staff, how that changes things for you and how much you've seen the rest of your weekend, UCLA, potentially BYU, Texas, just at times you've been watching college hoops this year.
Well, I've watched a little bit. You know, I always watch Shaka because I say he's a friend of mine. And I got a chance to watch BYU the other day because I was watching Mark Few, who's a friend of mine. And so I, you know, I've watched some of those games. I didn't watch them like I would if I was scouting them. But how's it going to be? Let me tell you something. If we're still playing on Monday, it's going to be the greatest thing. You know how bad I look after, you know, a couple of weekends, and I'll get another, you know, 3 games in 6 days if we can keep winning. But I've already done that ×2. So I don't think I can look any worse, and I'm not sure I can feel any worse, but there is a good feeling about accomplishing things, and the task in front of us is going to be demanding but exciting. And it'll just be a new chapter, you know, new chapter in my book and the Michigan State basketball book. And that's the way I'm going to approach this, you know, new opportunity, new chapter, do something you've never done. That's always fun. And that's the way we're going to try to do it.
All right, Coach, congrats on 23 in a row, and thanks for your time today.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Max.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.